Oh, wait, are you on this?
Who's that broad up in the corner back there? Oh.
We do have two. Great.
She's pretty and stuff. When you say "and stuff" at the end, it's always more charming.
And less creepy, actually.
Yeah, you're real. Yeah, because she's right. Because I mean, you're really
Notice
pretty.
she said.
You go, you're kind of pretty and stuff. Like, oh, I just wrote a bit. Thank you. That's how bits are created. Good night, everybody.
Less creepy.
Less creepy. Thank you.
And so you have to be creepy to be less creepy.
Right. I'm on it. I'm on it.
They just got that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
Are we ready up front? Cool. All right, so when you hear the music, we're recording.
Now we're recording. Ladies and gentlemen, the FlappCast is back. Welcome to another exciting episode. You can applaud. FlappCast, Behind the Funny, where we find out what goes on behind the scenes at a comedy club. I'm Barbara Holliday, your host.
And I'm still struggling with my prostatitis. I'm Josh.
Snyder. And we have the amazing headliner, Lou Santini, with us.
Hi.
Who just got back from Italy.
And boy, are my...
No, I'm dying to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I got back Sunday night.
Wait, did you do comedy in Italy?
No.
Did you renovate a house and then write a novel about it?
No, but when here's the best part. When you go to one of the most romantic countries in the world, you want to go with your mother. That's what I did. You know, walking arm in arm through the square in Venice with your mom. You just know, tonight, it's happening.
Romantic dinner.
Not to mention, now let's talk about sharing a room with your mother.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
What's that like?
Right, they're big hotel rooms for the most part, not in the same bed, obviously, but it's just, you're seeing people in the morning and in the evening out of the shower, and you're saying, my mom actually said things like, "Get back in there so I can take my pants off."
Oh.
Meaning, go into the bathroom so she can get changed in the actual hotel room, and I have to wait. But you just don't want to hear that
From your mom.
from your mom, and then of course, then your mom tells you things like, she'll come in the bathroom like, "You okay?" And she's holding her stomach like, "Yeah, it's traveling. I get a little." I'm like, "All right." She goes, "Well, I'm in there for like a half an hour trying to squeeze out a marble." I'm like, "Mom, Mom, this is not mom-son talk. This is not how we talked when I was younger." And it's like, I guess we're all getting older now.
Oh, wow, that is so cool you went with your mom.
Yeah, we went to London and Paris 4 years ago, and she's already talking about Spain, where I can finally use my 3 years of Spanish and 16 years of living in Los Angeles and dating my assortment of crazy Latin women.
I'm impressed that you went there with all the Ebola things going on.
Well, we already had the deposit in, so when you have the deposit in, they're like, Ebola deposits, you don't want to lose that deposit. I was like, well, how bad could Ebola be for $500?
And did your mother pay for the trip? That's what
No. We all
yeah.
paid our own way, and here's the thing. It was literally classified to be specific, a tour. We went with a tour group of 37 of the most annoying people ever.
Old people?
Well, no, just annoying. It's like if you were shooting a John Hughes movie, every stereotype was on this bus. You had the Fran Drescher types, you had the big fat guy type who breathes weird, you have the old lady, you got the younger people who are like on their honeymoons, they're always kissing, and you could actually hear like over the bus noise.
Oh.
So it's very regimented. I mean, we saw a lot of Italy in a short amount of time, and it was for 12 days, and I never got to sleep past 6 a.m. I mean, that's military stuff, man. And you're going to bed like at 10 or 11. By the time you wind down, you're like, ding dong, time to get up again. And I wish I would have had more time alone to soak things in, and maybe some time just with my mom and I, as opposed to being with that whole group all the time.
Right. I did a tour like that.
Yeah, we managed to squeeze in sometimes just for us, and a few times where I was by myself having a drink outside away from the chattering people. But I'm glad I got to see what I got to see, and I'm just now, it's been 3 days, I'm just now learning how to sleep again correctly and everything. So.
What part specifically?
We landed in Rome, and in that course of time, 3 days, 2 nights in Rome, 9-hour drive to Sorrento, where we stayed for 3 days, 2 nights.
Isn't that where they make those Kias?
Sorrento?
Yes.
I thought it was a pizza.
Yeah, no, hang on, I'm getting there. Don't jump the jokes. But And then so while we were in Sorrento, we drove to Capri, not where they made the car from the 70s.
Or the pants?
Or the pants.
Okay.
The island of Capri, and then also Naples, Napoli. By the way, birthplace of pizza. Naples, Italy, worst pizza I ever had in my life. I'm not lying. It was worse than any bad microwave pizza you've ever had. I would have preferred a lean pocket over a pizza that was awful.
Why was it awful? What was it?
Cold, doughy, bad sauce, rubbery crust. How do you? There's only so many ways you can mess up a pizza. We had 3 ingredients on it. Not to mention it's 99 degrees there, and Italians. You've been there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is. Like,
but Italian pizza is different than our pizza.
well, I found out that
Right.
every city's pizza
Right.
is different because in Venice I had the best pizza of my life, and it made me realize it's very similar to the pizza of my favorite Italian restaurant here in Los Angeles. So clearly that guy adapted that style. So then Florence, Pisa, Pompeii. We denied going to Switzerland and Siena just because we needed alone
we will
time.
not go to
Yeah,
Switzerland.
we just needed some alone time away from all the chatty Cathys, and then finished out in Milan. It's the fashion and business capital of Italy, and every square inch of that is covered in graffiti. It'd be like
that
driving to
sucks.
Beverly Hills and seeing everything covered in graffiti. It's just weird. I don't know why they don't clean it up. But it was a great trip.
Well, I think it's impossible to clean it up because we get graffiti in Burbank.
We do, but at least they're making an effort to try to not even stay on top of it, like keep up with it. Italy went, that's going to happen, so oh well. Did you see the Pope? No, and you're like the 400th person to ask me. So did you see the Pope? Did you see any hot, every guy, I was like, hey, I'm going to Italy. Bring me back a hot Italian girl. Okay. I'm with my mom, strike one, and all my Italian friends who were born there, they're like, oh no, the women will love that you're there with your mom. They find that endearing. I'm like, yeah, but I don't live there, they're going to think, oh, he's with his mother, and we...
Oh, come and have a drink with me now,
But that's the thing too. I found myself just yesterday. I stopped saying buongiorno and grazie to people. I was at Ralph's grocery store, and the guy bagged my groceries like grazie. I'm like, geez, I'm still doing this. But I found myself. It's such the Steve Martin joke. You adopt that accent.
Yeah.
And the problem is, if I adopted the accent, what would happen is they assumed that I was indeed Italian and didn't speak English well. So then they would go full throttle Italian. My mom needed help buying this purse that she wanted, and the sales lady wasn't looking my way. And I'm like, scusa, nothing. I'm like, yeah, scusa. And she says, yes. And I'm like, so I'm like, my mother, she need the... I don't know why I did that. And then so she went full Italian on me. I'm like, I don't speak Italian. And she had a look at her face like, why are you talking like that, you idiot?
What's the difference between scusi and scusa?
I don't know where you're from. I don't know.
Is it like more polite?
I don't know.
Scusi.
Yeah, plus I kept hearing, because prego means you're welcome.
Not spaghetti
That's
sauce.
spaghetti sauce. So I'm like, why do you keep mentioning who's plugging prego out here all the time? Or ragu, whatever.
Oh man.
So now, this is a tradition you have with your mother where you go to different places.
Please don't call it a tradition. No, because then it will become one if you make it happen like that. No, just as she got older, my parents are divorced, and my mom wants to go to these places. None of her friends either have the time or the money. They can't get it down. And she's like, well, my son has no life, so I'll ask him. So it's every 4 years. It just seems like every World Cup we go to a country. We went to England and we sat in a British pub and watched England play the U.S. in the World Cup in a British pub. I was the one drunk American guy to be murdered by a pub full of British hooligans, but it was a tie game, thank God, and we were all friends at the end of it. So it was fun.
Well, I'm sure you're getting some material out of
Getting
this,
material
right?
out of it, and what's funny is way back when, my mom and I were good friends too. We have bizarre conversations, and I just started one day a few years ago. I put up a conversation word for word on Facebook. Next thing you know, I got like 75 likes on it within like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't get this for anything else. And then more and more and more, and then I started, like when I go over the holidays, we take these trips, and I title them in caps, Weird Conversations with Mom. And I put, Mom, colon, what she said, me, colon, what I said. That's how it's written. It's real easy to read. I have people who are Facebook friends that I've never met face-to-face who email me, go, when are you going out with your mom again? It's my favorite part of Facebook. I race to Facebook to read these posts.
Yeah, that's a
Wait, but you're not...
And that's what I'm doing.
But all 75 likes were from your mom.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, let's be clear, right?
But yeah, so Amber's like, you should write a book. And, she won't listen to this podcast because she's still trying to learn how to use... I actually, on the trip...
I'm going to tell her about
I
it.
actually
I'm gonna
had
call
to show her in Italy how to turn her sound off on her phone.
Oh.
I know. So I don't think she has the podcast wrapped around her head just yet. But anyway, I'm going to write a book. It's called 101 Weird Conversations with Mom. And
I love it.
hey, if there was that one show, Blank My Dad Says, based on a book, I mean, it was a bad show, but the guy got paid. And my stuff is actually funnier. So I think it'll hit. I already have one book on Kindle, and it's doing well. Let's do another one.
What's your book on Kindle?
How to go from wedding hell to wedding bells. Your wedding doesn't need a survival guide. Because I've DJ'd over.
That's a long time.
Well, in my research on putting a book on Kindle, they said either have a really short title or go really long. They said that helps in marketing.
Huh.
So
Or put
not
an
so much
A
in
at the
sex,
beginning.
but in marketing it does. But yeah, so you either go really short or really long. Nothing in the middle. But yeah, so I have that book on Kindle because I've emceed over 1,000 weddings in my lifetime. When I used to have
That's your
a business.
specialty.
No,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Not
I've retired
anymore.
from that business, but I've seen it all when it comes to weddings. So I figured, why not write a book? So it's a funny book on what not to do at your wedding.
Right. How about just traveling with Mom?
And you know, it's
Something
everyone's like,
along
you
that
should do a
line.
movie like that one with Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand. I'm like, so the movie's that's been done. I should do that movie?
No, but they did a road trip.
That's
Did
what's
you
called,
see
Road Trip, right?
That was a good movie. I
Or something
actually
like that.
don't remember the name of it, but that was specifically like a car trip.
Right.
Nothing like traveling international.
This one- yeah,
It gives you a whole nother element.
Yeah,
I
this
think.
one, 101 Weird Conversation with Mom. That could be a series because I mean, you just have. You have the conversation and the episodes build around it. Look at me pitching everybody in the room like they all have the power to greenlight this shit.
Can you give us like a snippet of a particular conversation or a little bit?
Oh man, I wish I had some on my phone right now. I'm still a blur from it.
Did she tell you?
Oh, yeah, so the weather in Italy ranged from, wow, this is perfect weather, to like 2 days where it was still really hot. It's August. And there was a guy selling like wide-brimmed sun hats. And I just realized I don't think I've ever seen my mom wear a hat. In the 70s, she wore a turban for like a week. Why? Which I never let her forget. I'm like, it was just a fashion thing.
70s and turbans.
She went through it. I was a real little kid. But I asked my mom, I said, hey, do you want me to get you a hat? It's really hot out. And she goes, I don't wear hats. And I go, yeah, you don't. Why not? Thinking, and she said, they're too complicated, and I always feel like I have to balance it on my head, and I walk real stiff. I go, so you're telling me you can't work a hat? Weird. And I'm like, well, who are you? I don't understand. And then we were at the Vatican, and I had a beer at the Vatican, ladies and gentlemen. They had,
no hope.
They had, I mean, you've seen the square. We've all seen the pictures. There's vendors and gift shops and snacks everywhere. And it's hot. It's tourist season. And it takes a long time to go through there. And I was a little bit hungry. Italians do not snack. I mean, in Italy, I do. But, Italians do not snack. They have, their breakfast is like cappuccino and a croissant or a muffin. No snack. Huge lunch. No snack. Huge dinner, usually around 9 or 10 p.m. So we were starving, so I got a couple bottled waters. It was hot. And I asked my wife, I said, do you want something to munch on? And I hold up a bag of chips. I said, you want some chips or something? She goes, no, not those. And I go, what's wrong with these? She goes, those have ridges. I go, so? She goes, that's cheating crunch. That's not a real crunch. I want a real crunch. I don't even know how to answer that. That's cheating. This is her. I'm like, you were married for 23 and a half years to my dad and had me. How'd that happen? It's just cheating. It's cheating crunch.
Cheating crunch.
I guess I can't do those commercials for Ruffles now. It's like, I would love to do it, but that's an
So she would
artificial
bite
crunch.
into it and go, that's
artificially
Fake
made.
crunch.
Fake crunch.
But then again, I'm used to faking it with your dad.
Speaking,
Whoa! Bada boom.
Speaking of chips, in Italy, I'm not making this up, you would see sophisticated businessmen, very expensive suits, the ascot and, the cigar, the cigarette, drinking expensive wine, no lie, a bowl of Pringles. Everywhere, men and women. I ordered a glass of, I'm a whiskey guy, but I was, when in Italy, when in Rome, I was trying to learn about wine as much as I could. So we're in the square in Venice. I order a wine. My mom gets a cappuccino. And sure enough, along with the wine, came a complimentary bowl of Pringles.
You don't even need a bowl for Pringles.
I know.
So
You
how
just
many
need
of those
like
annoying
a
people that
vase.
you were with said when in Rome when you were in Rome?
Oh, God. Don't even get me started. And you know what else I got tired of doing? At least I caught myself.
Did you almost get hit by a car in Rome?
No, I got pickpocketed twice. I got attempted twice.
Rome is a crazy city,
Rome
you
and
guys.
London.
People get hit. Like if you barely walk into the
Yeah.
street, cars are just like, woo,
Well, the
they don't
streets
care.
are about as wide as my cell phone, and they're made out of dirt, so there's you don't have a lot of options. You know, it's cobblestone. I mean, how women could walk in high heels in any of these cities, even Milan, the
And
newest
they
one.
do.
They do. They
do.
balance. And I'm in Adidas, and like, ow, my ankle, they hurt.
I don't know. You know, since Caesar left, it's been downhill there.
I don't know, the Nero years, you know, it's just bureaucracy.
And by left, I mean was stabbed 47
Yeah,
times.
well, what's funny, when I was in college, that's the thing, too. I got tired of learning.
I was going to ask you
Because you're
about
in a tour
the
group,
history
and because you're in a
it's
group
like,
of
shut
37, you're
up.
walking around,
Yeah.
and, you know, they give you like a transmitter with one earbud to put in there, which is good for like, all right, we're walking this way now, you don't want to lose your group because you don't want to miss the bus to go to the next thing. However, I don't need I mean, come on, we could sit at the Sistine Chapel for a year and still not learn everything about it. I want to know, how long did it take to build? What year was it? Next. I'm on to the next
Notice
thing.
the light cream color
Oh my
in the
God!
in the
I mean, we were
southeast
at Michelangelo's
corner.
David, and I unplugged after I was like 16 feet tall. I'll be damned. And I walked away and observed it on my own and absorbed it. You know.
Okay, wait, though. This is a good question. So that was in Florence. I was there last year. Dave and I traveled to Italy, and we saw the David in Florence. But apparently that is actually not the real David. Isn't that right? It's actually, is it in the museum itself, or they put the fake one outside?
No, the one we saw was the real one,
Right.
and they have the fake one on either side of a doorway of a church. And then they have fake ones around the country.
You can tell because the fake one's circumcised.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what I was
Well
wondering.
played, John.
How to leave it
That's
to
good.
our no longer
Well, here's the
virgin.
thing,
He's
too.
not a virgin anymore. Did you know that?
Since the last time I was on the show?
Yes, he cracked it 2 months ago.
All right.
In Italy with his mom.
No,
He went on
Wow! Man.
You jump right to incest. What? That was uncalled for.
Right to incest.
Uncalled for.
I gotta watch my mouth when she dives into the incest jokes.
Uncalled
We
for.
just had to update Lou.
Yeah.
You
So,
know.
but I mean, you know, there are over 900 churches in Rome alone, not Italy, Rome. So, and when they
You know
start
what?
us
I'm
off,
tired of learning.
How many
they
synagogues?
started off with the Sistine Chapel, and then they want to show us other churches. I'm like, that's like seeing the Beatles in their prime. Like, well, what other bands are there? Who cares? You just show me the Sistine Chapel. Here's a church that's small. I don't care. I mean, all right, it's a nice church. It's a lot of pillars. And
I know
marble.
what you mean about the learning, though. It gets
Oh,
kind of exhausting.
I
And
got
now
tired of
with
it.
the iPhone, you can actually get wherever you travel these audiobooks for
Yeah.
free. You just go on your phone and get these audiobooks. But it all sounds exactly the same. Like the guy who does every audiobook, the voice is exactly the same.
Yeah, we
Don't
had
you
one.
think?
We had one main tour guide on the bus throughout the trip, and as we got special areas, there was local tour guides who were experts in that thing or whatever. And some were
Right.
good, some were just awful. The guy in Pompeii literally lost my mom and I. My mom twisted her ankle, sprained her ankle, got it stuck in a rock, and we lost the group and barely made the bus back. I'm like, am I really going to die at Pompeii? The people of Pompeii died there, and now I'm going to die here in 95-degree heat while my mom slowly decays because we're hot, we have no water, and we were going to
Get
limp to
her
the
a
bus.
hat, dang it!
I tried to buy her a hat.
Force it on her,
It's
force it
too
on her.
complicated. It's hard. I can't balance it.
Do you think Michelangelo would like that people are talking while you're looking at his art? Like, he wouldn't be back there going, "Hey, it's 16 feet tall."
Yeah. Well, the best part is, you know what I bought? I bought a pair of silk boxers. They sell them on the street vendors. They're the Italian flag colors with Michelangelo's David's wiener on the center of it, superimposed on there. So I'm like, yes, this is what he had in mind. €5. €5. And when Susan and I go, what size? He goes, and the guy's like, one size. Oh, they call it free size. They don't mean one size fits all. They call it free size. I'm like,
Free size?
I'm like, okay, I'm 5'10", 175. They're a little snug. I don't know how a big fat guy would wear these. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. They don't say everything must go sales. They say keep everything out sale.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you have to put on pants when you went to the Vatican? That's another thing. You know, you cannot.
What are you implying? Did I walk around naked everywhere I go? Did you finally put on some pants?
Your mom.
Did you show the Pope some respect? Yeah,
You
no,
can't go into
no shorts and
Dave
no
had
shoulders
shorts.
showing. You
That's
can't have your
right.
shoulders showing either.
So they sell pants outside the Vatican.
Yeah.
That's how they make tons of money on those pants.
Actually, I have a few pictures on
Yeah,
my phone.
you have
I'm
to.
sorry.
Ironic, 'cause
Put on
from what I
pants.
hear about the Catholic Church, all they're trying to do is get your pants
Pants
off.
off. Hey, hey,
Oh.
Look at the Jewish guy besmirching the Catholic
Oh.
Church.
You're going crazy.
This is what I saw. I'm showing it to her right now. It was in the.
Complicated watches?
I took pictures of weird signs. There's a sign that says complicated watches on the storefront. Like, is that good or
Right.
bad? Now, I was looking at jeans. They have slim fit, straight leg, and, read it out loud,
Regular carrot.
regular carrot.
Jeans?
Jeans, and it's a
You know
totally
what-
serious. I'm like,
Does that mean you're
like,
carrot?
I know that's what I mean. It's like slim cut, straight leg, or regular carrot. I'm like, I guess mine's kind of regular. Should I show the guy?
Like the size of a carrot?
Is there a
And what
small
is a
carrot or a
regular?
large carrot?
Yeah,
Is there an
what is-
irregular carrot?
Right. There's a grande carrot.
I saw a lot of Santini signs all
Santini.
over the place. Businesses named Santini.
So
took
are
pictures.
you Italian?
3/4?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
My mom's maiden name is Rome, and you ready for this? My birth father's name, or my birth father's dad, my grandfather, his full name, Amerigo Vespucci Vincenzo Macaroon.
Ooh.
I mean, Amerigo Vespucci, that's the guy we named the United States of America after. Not that he did that.
And did
Hey,
you
by
say-
the way, I named this country. Thank you. Take your pants off. please.
Macaroon?
Macaroon.
That's
And they
a-
changed his name to Vince.
Oh.
This picture's on the side, and like I said, so I had a beer at the Vatican because they were selling Peroni. This is on the side
Which
of the
is
beer.
delicious and icy cold and
Yeah,
wonderful.
this is on the side of the beer can. Like we always say, don't drink. It could cause
Don't
birth
drink and drive.
defects.
Pregnant women shouldn't.
Yeah, it's just a symbol of a car with a line through it, and clearly a woman with a ponytail, easily a teenager, who is pregnant with a line through her.
Are you going to post these?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Once
you
I get
gotta
them all
post
cropped
these.
and pretty
These are
stuff.
awesome.
I
I've never seen a no pregnant woman crossing.
I purposely put I took a picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa from the wrong side, because when you look at it straight on, it looks perfect. And so I, of course, acted like
It's
an
not.
idiot. And when you look at it from this side, everyone's doing that sideways pose, pushing against it. So I walked on the side, and I took a picture of it, and I real loud, I go, "There's nothing wrong with this. It looks straight." And then, of course, everyone in my group was laughing, and then some German guy walks me and goes, "You have to go to the other side." I'm like, yes, I know, jackass. I'm trying to be funny.
But I gotta laugh.
I got in a lot of trouble for yelling, "Are you not entertained?" in the Colosseum. Yelled at a lot. Totally, the security guy's like, "You can't yell." I'm like, "In the Colosseum, you can't yell. If anything, this is where you should be yelling."
Kill me then!
It wasn't like I was in the Vatican. Here's the name. Here's the name of a snack. These are boxed. Read that one. Can you read that?
Tuck stick.
Tuck stick.
Tuck stick.
It sounds like a tampon.
Oh.
Isn't it? There you go. There's tuck sticks on it.
Ew.
It's a potato snack. They're potato
Honey,
chips.
get
in
me a
like
box of tuck sticks.
Tuck sticks or a hemorrhoidal thing.
Super or
These are the
regular?
name- Here's another name of some chips.
I need some regular
Fonzies.
carrots.
Fonzies, which actually is kind of cool, but is Henry Winkler still alive? You could totally these are great.
Hey,
Fonzies.
Fonzies.
I think those are like, oh yeah, here's one on my bus. Go ahead.
50 plus 2 equals 52.
Yeah, they're trying to show you what the capacity is on the bus. So rather than just say capacity is 52, 50 plus 2
Wait.
equals 52.
Yeah, but it's 50 plus 2. Is that a disabled person? Or no? What is that?
No,
They're different
those
people.
are that's the Italian stick figure for a person sitting on the bus.
Oh,
That's their thing.
and that's the driver.
Apparently, that's the driver.
Oh,
So
so
they
there's
need
two
two
drivers?
No, there's that, and they have like a backward seat for the tour guide who's facing the audience.
Oh, I see.
So, but it was like all these signs. It's just the ones that were just cracking me. Oh, there's my mom's twisted ankle, and there's some other ones. So yeah,
Wow,
It'll be a-
exciting. You know, it'd be fun to do a slideshow.
I
Of that.
Well, the London Paris trip, I actually put together like a 45-minute iMovie of all of it. I spent some time on it, put jokes in there, and scored it, and
And where is
effects.
this? Where can we can
Well,
people
it's
see this? I
45
wanna see
minutes.
it.
I mean, it's just in my file. On my
Get this
computer.
on
You want to come over? I
DVD?
mean, if you watch it, I mean, who wants to watch my stupid home movies?
Let's have a screening.
You want to air it here at Flappers before a show? It'd be funny because people want, what are we watching? Who's this guy?
Actually,
Who's that woman?
I keep referring back, but Titus and Rachel were here, and they recommended that we do an embarrassing video night, which is where you show a clip of yourself in an embarrassing video situation, and you can only be in the show or in the room if you have an embarrassing video. clip
I
to show.
shot some video. I don't know if it'd be embarrassing, but I've never seen my mom drunk. You ever seen your parents drunk? I don't know if ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have. I
When he
grew
used to
up
be-
with an
audience, when my dad would
Oh,
beat
yeah.
me. He used to come home with the belt. No, I've never seen my mom. She drinks like boxed wine, and she'll have like one on Thanksgiving or
boxed
Christmas. She's not a drinker. So we're in Tuscany at a wine tasting, and I'm a whiskey guy. But I'm like, again, when in Tuscany, I'm like, I want to learn. So when you go to a real wine tasting, it's my first one. They give you a notepad, and you're like, all right, and you make notes. Like, I like number one. It was kind of fruity, and it was kind of strong, and I like this one. Maybe I'll buy this. And they can ship it to you, tax-free, free shipping, and all that jazz. Oh, didn't like number two. This one had this. This you would even say like this one tasted best with salami and the cheese, but not the salad. We tasted vinegar and also and balsamic. I wound up buying 4 bottles of 2 of the same wines are going to have shipped out, and 2 of this olive oil, which was unbelievable. And I look over at my mom after like her 4th glass of wine. I look at her notes. All she had written down was number 9. So she wrote down.
Good.
So I fire up the camera and I started videotaping her, and now she's getting the giggle. So apparently, when my mom's drunk, she just laughs. She was red, her eyes were watering, her makeup's running. And I go, Mom, you're cut off. No, it's not the wine. It's not the wine. It's these crackers. Yes, the alcoholic crackers. Those are 90 proof crackers you're eating right there. And then we, I said, you got to stop because I don't want to be dealing with you, and I'm not holding your hair back,
Oh.
So we get on the bus, we drive back to the hotel in, where were we? Florence? Yeah, we're in Florence. And I go, you sure you're okay? Why don't you lie down for a bit? I have to go buy some clothes because I didn't pack enough. And I go, do you have a headache? She goes, no, I don't really have a headache so much. It's like a head on. I don't know what that is. Just lie down and don't touch anything and don't get up and don't fall. All right, no throwing up, because if you throw up in the hotel room, everyone's going to smell it. It's disgusting.
A head on.
A head on.
Yeah.
They actually
I
have
get
that
a lot.
product. They have that product. There used to be a product on TV they advertised, head on you. It's a patch you put on your head when you did have a headache.
Oh.
So there's
this
your
is
market.
An age thing.
I don't know.
How old is your mom? You can tell her she's not listening.
Yeah, 66.
Oh, that's nothing.
I know she's
Wait
young.
a minute.
What? Don't ask. Don't. No, don't. I'm not answering that question. But like I said, she'll never answer the podcast because we're going to these churches. I go, Mom, is your phone off? She goes, I just turned it off. I go, you don't have to turn it off. Just turn the sound off. How do you do that? I go, click. Just turn it off. She goes, how did you do that? I go, I'm showing you now. Show me again. Click. And then so she's telling other people on the bus, like, look at this, I can turn my phone to the side. I'm like, they know. That 90-year-old blind and deaf guy on the tour, he knows how to turn the phone off.
My phone's ringing right now.
Yeah, she doesn't get technology. When I first taught her how to text, I left Ohio where she lives, and I taught her how to text, and I said, I'll text you when I'm ready to take off so you know I boarded on time. Before I could even do that, she sends me a text, hi. And before I could even reach for the phone, I got back in all caps and exclamation points, hello! So here's someone who's never texted before, but she understood how to go right to yelling at me on the phone.
She is a mom.
And I picked up the phone, I call her, I go, what do you want? She goes, you didn't answer. I go, I didn't even have a chance to reply. Well, I didn't know if you were getting on the plane or not. I said, Mom, just because you text immediately doesn't mean I answer immediately. Well, then what's the point of texting? I go, it's for times when I cannot maybe talk, or I can't, I'm in a meeting, or I'm somewhere where, and I said, it's not a guaranteed response. It's just another word. I said, when you call me, do I always answer? No. Doesn't it go to voicemail sometime? Oh, shut up. And that's how I know I've won a conversation. You'll see a lot of those conversations that end in shut up in my book.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's just
shut up. That means I won the argument.
Right.
Which is
now,
rare.
when your parents divorced, were you young or?
No, my mom and my birth father got divorced when I was a baby. He was a military guy, that kind of thing. My mom and my stepdad got married when I was like 5. So, but they were married for almost 24 years.
Oh,
yeah.
So he was really your dad.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I've always said it's not who makes you, who raises you.
Right.
Really, who puts the time in.
Right. Is she looking for the next one? Did she?
She has dated. She's had a couple. It's just so weird. My mom's like, this is my mom's boyfriend. It's like, ugh. It's like, I don't want to think about things. And but no, right now she's single. So
what?
Yeah.
Josh?
You save money on hats. Don't have to buy my mom any hats.
That's true.
I don't know, she might be in better shape than me.
And she's a cheap drunk too.
Cheap drunk. I'm looking for a no hat wearing cheap drunk kind of woman.
A lady who can get drunk on a sip of wine.
Squeezing out marbles.
And crackers. That's
and
the kind of woman I
frankly, I'm in
want.
the same place too with that. Yeah.
So how was your first time, Joe? How old are you?
Jeez, come on.
How old are
Let's
you?
not discuss
Hey,
this.
I'm 32.
No, you're not. Really?
Yes, I am.
Wow. I mean, I thought I was bad. I was 21 and 10 months old.
Oh, bragging.
Not for
Well,
lack of trying, believe me. But I mean,
Now
I
Josh just gets stalkers, actually.
Right.
It's
that
true.
means you're doing something right on stage.
It went from...
I've had my share of stalkers on radio and stand up and TV and stuff too. So
Really?
doing
And
something right.
what's your advice to get rid of the stalker?
No, you don't get rid of them. You have sex with them. Why would you get rid of a stalker? You're doing something right. No. Well, I've had, so when I was on the radio, I had some harmless stalkers, but I've had people come to the radio station with guns, and a guy followed me. showed up at a personal appearance I had to make before I got there, and I got there and there was a huge crowd. I'm like, this is going great, and I see the cops like, all right, we need crowd control, and turns out this guy showed up and he was looking for me, and he jumped over the counter at the record store, the CD store, and the cops arrested him, and I'm like, all right, I'm doing okay, ratings-wise, I guess.
We talked about this last time you were with us, about your radio background and all that, and I used to be a kids club host. I also had stalkers.
Yeah.
It's funny when you're a comedian, Josh, so you're gonna, the ladies.
My then girlfriend, she had stalkers. I had people waiting for me outside the station and stuff. I had nice stalkers too, but I mean, they were harmless, but I had some weirdos I had to
But I'm confused, where are all the stalkers? I mean, have you ever stalked anyone? I've never stalked
Why would I admit that on your podcast?
I know,
Yes,
but-
here's a list of the following people that I've stalked.
But
no,
if there are all these stalkers...
That just seems like a lot
I
of
don't
work.
know.
And who has that kind of free
know.
time?
Yeah,
I
it is a lot of work.
So is this girl your girlfriend?
No.
No. Oh, that's the best way. You don't want to do that. We're all sharing stories here. Being that I was being there, that I was inexperienced, and I, just talk. This girl, she was 28, I was 21. She was newly divorced, and she knew I was a virgin, so I was fresh meat. She could train me, right? And we did other things, but never actual intercourse. Because I was terrified. I'm like, this is gonna last 4 seconds. I'm gonna be terrible at this. Yada yada. No, I don't want to disappoint this girl. I'm happy with what we're doing right now. So finally, one day, I'm like, screw it, we're doing it. And, of course, it was over in 4 seconds. But what I meant to say to her was something along the lines of, wow, I can't believe I kind of put that undue pressure on myself. What was I so worried about? I can't believe what came out of my mouth was, well, that was no big deal. Which every woman, and she's like, thank you. I go, no, you know what? And she's like, she's like, I know what you mean. So, but that's the thing. Once that happened, I don't know about you, the floodgates are open. Because my life instantly got more complicated from that moment on.
That's correct.
Right,
Yes.
because now it's just like, well, I have to feel like that again all the time.
You know what?
24/7.
No. What? I'm fine. No, it was a lot of work.
But you know what?
But you realize, you're like a sexual peak for a man is 18 and a woman's like 35, which is great design plan, God, well done. I mean, if the human body was a car, they'd recall it.
I'm 32. I'm out of shape. There's all the emotional stuff. There's I don't know.
Emotional stuff? What are you, making love? No, you're having sex.
We just read in the Time magazine today that the average number of times married couples have sex is 66 times a year.
That's too much.
But
how long are they married?
I know, but my question is, what's the average number of times single people have sex? I mean, how come they never talk about that? Like,
once every 32 years.
Is it longer? Or sure?
I really feel I hate if you were to ask me that, I don't know if I could put a number on it, because I'll be like, man, I got laid in like 4 months, and all of a sudden, wow, 6 times in 6 days. There's no ebb. I think married people, because it's theirs, access, you see the same person day after day.
I'm not married.
Day. I know, I'm just saying.
So
yes, you are.
that's a good thing.
You're married.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you are.
not married.
Well, me too. You don't look 32. That's good.
According to the
How are you
health
not
insurance,
I mean, you're not big, but you're not fat.
No, but like my legs were killing me after the first time.
What position were you in?
Missionary. It was
My
just
legs
missionary.
were killing
Are you
me
on
after
top?
the first time.
Yes.
And your legs were
Let's not
killing
get
you.
Oh, it
too
was
detailed,
terrible.
please. No.
No, but I mean, everyone else, I'm like, wait, you're using your
you want
legs
me
so
to
much
get into
for.
your
You're
leather?
using your chest. You're doing a push. You're in a push-up position.
Hey,
It should be your pecs, if anything. There should be sore.
No, they were fine. My legs were. I don't know what it was. It's just.
You have to
He
get
might
in
be
shape
doing
to
it-
have future sex.
wait,
Yes.
he might be doing it wrong. I'm not sure yet.
Can we interview the
Sure.
girl on next week's podcast
Yeah.
and find
I'm
out
not
her
sure
take
it's
on this?
Actually, weren't
Right
you
now,
just
she's like, my
jogging?
back is killing me.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure I did it wrong. But no, it's.
And only the one time with her, one and out.
It was. It was
no,
4
it
times.
Four. Well, like in one. I mean, you've seen her 4 separate occasions.
It was 4 separate evenings.
4 times
Okay,
in
well,
4
that's good.
days.
But she's not a
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Not. Yeah.
Now she's a.
Now she's a friend with benefits.
Yeah.
No. What she.
And her
she
name
wanted,
is?
She
No,
wanted to
kidding.
be a friend with benefits,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
You want to play the field because you've been on such a hot streak thus far.
No, I don't want to play the field. I want to. I need time off the field. It's a lot. I'm a
His
very
legs are
neurotic
hurting,
person.
Lou.
And
You say erotic or neurotic?
oh, definitely neurotic. Yeah.
Yeah, my legs are sore. I need a break. I'm so turned on.
You know what I need after sex? Some Epsom salts. That's what I need.
Can we have a hot bath ready for when I'm done with this? what's funny is I literally 3 weeks before Italy, I took a bad fall and I was in the hospital for a couple of days for my back. I blacked out in the middle of the night and I hurt my back. I already have existing lower back issues, but just like a disc compression, nothing crazy. No.
Hey, I can do something with this.
Okay, but I was really I hurt my back playing softball, right?
Was that just a goddamn computer joke? That was just a computer.
And so I'm like, well, I got to call my chiropractor and get fixed before I go to Italy because it's a lot of travel. So I, that night I was a little bit sore, had a couple whiskeys at home, and I knew I was going to have trouble sleeping. So I chased it with some NyQuil. And I slept with my feet, and I slept well, but I slept with my feet way, way elevated because my back was hurting. The problem was, it was like 6 hours, all the blood rushed into my head and my torso. Middle of the night, get up to pee, swung my legs out. You ever like get up too fast? I swung out and all that blood rushed down my feet, and I got hot, like a fever, like a flu cold, like that. And I remember looking in the mirror going, am I getting sick? And I blacked out and I messed my back up so bad. I thought I broke my back or had like internal injuries. Had to call my own ambulance, and they came and got me, and I'm not lying. I thought, oh, ambulance. They'll put me on like a stretcher so I don't have to walk. They bring in this Hannibal Lecter hand truck and strapped me into it, and they wheeled me through the courtyard of my apartment building. Well, the neighbor's like, all right, well, so he killed 30 people. Like, son of a bitch. And I'm in too much pain to go, no. I mean, it hurt to inhale and exhale. That's how bad it was. So 2 days in the hospital. So anyway.
Oh, you got lucky.
Oh, yeah. So morphine is awesome, and Toradol, and Soma, and Norco, and I didn't walk for like 30 hours, and it was.
But you were flying.
People were calling, they're like, man, are you okay? I'm like, how did you know I was hurt? You texted me. I'm like, I did. I mean, I was so high, I don't even text people.
Hello?
Brian Regan, say eight. So anyway, going back to what you know that bit, the emergency room bit. So you're talking about like your legs were sore. My back was in pain. And so 4 days after I got out of the hospital, I was having sex. I powered through that pain. That's all I'm saying, Josh. And she came over. I have a friend. Thank you.
Nice.
And she's an F buddy. I can't say. Are we allowed to say that word on this show?
Sure, of course.
She's a fuck buddy. So I didn't know if we could or not. So she's fucking. She's like, "Are you gonna be okay?" And I'm opening. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm standing. Like I'm okay." And we're making out while I'm standing.
But my legs are sore.
Yeah. And then what's funny is once you get your endorphins kick in. I had no pain. I didn't want the sex to stop because the whole time I'm like, my back is not hurting. And as long as I can keep having sex, no more pain. And I finished, I rolled off, and I'm like, ow, my back hurts again. So I'm saying get back on the horse, man. You got to work through the pain. You got to train those legs for sex. You have non-sex legs. You need to get some sex legs. So you have walking legs right now and sitting legs. You don't use those muscles having sex. You got to get used to using them.
Well, and I need to get a sex penis.
Sex penis. That'll be work.
The penis that I have is not really designed for sex.
Yeah. Thanks for using the medical term. Nothing's more of a turn off than using medical terms for genitals.
How did we get onto the sex topic?
I don't know. I blame the audience.
You guys, Lou Santini is headlining at our Claremont Club this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Summer's over out there, so school is back. Should be great.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Get out there and see him on Friday and Saturday for sure.
Yep.
And Lou, we're watching for your book too. That sounds super exciting.
I'm hoping to finish it. It's called 101 Weird Conversations with Mom, and I have 72 in there so far. So I'm thinking between phone calls, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, I'll be done by the end of the year.
Hell, you should be done in a week.
If I can get some wine in her, I'll probably be done by tomorrow.
So, and you've been with us before, and we like to do this segment on our podcast called Punch It Up, where we ask some comics to come on and do their time, and then you and I and Josh can give them a little suggestions here and there, tags, and
pointers.
See if we can't punch up their stuff a little bit.
Let's do that. Now we still do it. We're not charging the comics this time.
No.
We're not making them pay for the punch ups.
Well, maybe. Let's see.
Last time I made a good $50-$60 last time doing this.
So who is with us today, Mr.
Right. First up, why don't we bring up Mr.
I misread the
Someone
email.
is
next week.
Oh, you're on next week.
Oh.
Oh,
I
okay.
am just an audience member.
Oh,
Okay,
be on
that's great.
tonight.
So we have one comedian with
All
us
right,
today.
well, guys, let's bring
and
up
one listening to us.
Richard Gentile.
Richard Gentile. That sounds Italian.
It does. And now that Richard Jenny's gone, he can just shorten it and be him.
It is Italian.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right.
It's so crazy. I'm going to Italy in October.
Now you know anything you need to know, come to me.
Yeah. I mean, wear pants at the Vatican.
And have your shoulders covered
And wear
too.
pants in Italy. Okay.
Yeah, we're bands and everything. So
Yeah.
I can do that.
So
Good
this
as
isn't what I expected. Okay, so this is cool.
Yeah.
But enough about Josh's sex dialogue. But no, sorry.
Okay, so
Who are you?
I'm Richard
Yeah.
Gentile. Name's spelled like Gentile, so it's exactly. So I'm
Josh,
not
no.
Jewish, but I tell people I'm Jewish. So, but so do I talk about myself?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to like start?
Do your act. Do the
do
set
some
you would do if you were
comedy.
performing here tonight.
Okay. Well, first, thanks for having me on here. I am like so excited. You know, when I read the email yesterday, I was just like, oh my God! I'd like to give a shout out to my mom, my dad. Give a shout out to the haters that've been hating. I don't have haters, but no, this is really cool. I mean, I'm just, I'm gonna soak this in for a little bit. All right. So this is what the top feels like.
Well, everything's relative.
Yeah. Just
More Josh dialogue during his sex.
no, I always knew that, once I figured out that, people listen to podcasts, I wanted to be on one, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I always knew someday I would be on a podcast. Yeah, this must be, I'm like Bill Burr status right now, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because, Bill Burr's got a podcast. I'm in a podcast. So, because I was trying to figure out, like, what do I do for a podcast? I got to know my audience. Usually I know my audience. If there's like a bunch of old people, you don't talk about religion, don't talk about death, cocaine, sex, or anything that I would normally talk about. And I was like, all right, I think I got something. I've been holding out on some material. It's not like jokes, it's inventions. And I feel like since I'm being recorded right now, this is kind of copyrighted, so nobody can steal my shit, right? Okay, so I'll just give you guys my first invention. Came up with it like a year ago, my nephew's birthday party. He was swimming and he had his floaties on, and he didn't have a whole lot of dexterity. And that's because he's 5. But I was like, you know what? Let's give him that mobility, and I came up with anklies. It's floaties, but on the ankles.
Ooh, anklies.
Okay. There's no joke for that. That's just, there it is, anklies. Okay, I'll let you guys soak that in for a little bit.
Steal that idea.
I would buy that. Yeah, because I can't stop you. Second invention, Serenity. It's a soundproof baby carriage. So I know what you're thinking. Parents out there, you can take your kid to the, airplane, movies. You can take your kid wherever you want, and, nobody's going to hear screaming or anything. They're just going to see an angry demon inside a sealed container. I was thinking, who would buy that shit? I would buy it, I would stick anything in there. I'd stick my wife in there. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't stick my wife in there. But I know I would buy it. And if I could just figure out the breathing holes, then it wouldn't be just a sealed container. There would be a soundproof baby carriage, So, I'm only giving you guys 2 inventions, because I got more, but I feel like 2 is good. I'm going to talk to you about my cures for global warming. I think, cures for global warming. Check this out. If everybody opened their doors and turned their AC all the way up, that should make the globe colder, right? No? I know what you're thinking, Richard, you don't know how AC works. I just don't think you guys know how AC works, okay? Alright, okay, so that didn't go too well. It's weird. Okay, you guys are really cool, though. You guys are making this not awkward. I mean, there's only, like, so many of us in here, but I really appreciate that. Yeah. Snow blowers on the ice caps. I figure Mountain High does it. They keep snow out there, so we could keep snow on the ice caps. That's my cure for global warming. Okay, I think that was all I really had. Okay, thanks. Yeah, cool.
That might sit over here.
Yeah, come sit with us on the couch.
This is awesome.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Thanks.
Good. He's very likable, isn't he?
He is
You guys are
likable.
so
Josh, would you have sex with him?
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Come on, I just don't know what you're looking for.
As long as you can do all the physical work.
Oh, he has bad legs.
His
Yeah.
legs
I'm
look
lazy
good.
too.
His legs look good. We got to give him tips for Italy too
Yeah,
before you leave.
Seriously.
How long you been doing comedy?
I mean, if we're talking time, total time, I'd say like maybe
I
like...
know what we're just looking for the weight.
Yes. The
30 pounds worth?
circumference. The
I'd
circumference.
say like 2 hours worth of like on stage time.
Okay.
Like, but how many years have you been doing comedy?
About okay, so I just got out of the Navy like 6 months ago.
Congrats. Worked the troops,
I was,
all right.
and I was on submarines, and that's when I decided I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Being down there with a bunch of Navy men,
It's
the bottom
a lot
of
of
the
calm
ocean.
down,
Barb. She's like,
Josh?
you want some alone time to think about that? There I am.
Did you? A lot of you. We just had Connolly on you last week, and he started doing comedy when he was in the military. That's kind of how he got started. There's a lot to joke about.
I did a workshop, you know, and you were there, and somebody said do military jokes. I was like, that shit's not funny. Nobody's gonna like that.
All right, well, that's what I was going to
Okay.
say. I mean, write about, well, here's the thing. Write about what you know, but, like, there's certain things that have happened to me, that people go, oh, Rich, you got a lot of material. I'm like, I didn't find it funny. It was a pain in the ass. I mean, look, comedy comes from things that are stupid and annoying or whatever. But I'm not saying that you can't joke about anything, but there's some stuff, just if he found, I was going to say you should have some jokes about being on a, he wasn't just in the military, he was in a submarine.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Right.
What was your position?
Nuclear engineer.
Oh, you're a nuclear.
His parents must be so proud.
So you were the Homer Simpson of the submarine.
Yeah, he was the safety inspector, Josh.
yes.
Did you just press the button? It's like.
That's a whole lot.
How's that sperm count?
You know somebody that you don't just learn that from. The
What, your sperm count drops on a submarine?
Yeah, radiation.
No way.
Straight to the testicles. All submariners only have girls.
Oh.
Not that I'm saying that
This is great.
I think it's because we all kick each other in the nuts on a submarine. I don't think it's about the radiation. I
Wait a
think
minute,
it's
go
because
back. I've never heard of it. You knew
I
that?
did not know
Well,
this.
radiation
I did
affects your
not
sperm
know this.
count, right? Yeah.
I mean.
But I mean, what about the rest of your physical health? Are you in danger? Are you okay? Or how does that work?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a black man. That's how much.
Wow. No, seriously, I'd be concerned. I never knew that. I just never knew.
No,
Did you know
I
that?
mean,
No, I had
the
no
radiation
idea.
is not bad. Don't let me like freak you out.
It's
the
the
radiation
pressure?
is because you learn a lot about the
I'm a
radiation.
little
water
nervous about
pressure?
sitting next to this guy right
No,
now.
I think it's because we kick each other in the nuts all the time.
That's
honestly.
it.
Why are you guys
That's
doing
what
that?
submarines
Like,
do.
life in a submarine's not hard enough.
Hey, you're the nuclear engineer? Wow, kick you in the
You're the guy who's in
nuts.
charge of your safety in life? Bam! Let's, incapacitate you.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Well, you know what I loved about you is you are fun. You have a very nice, playful, and you're 100% present, which is so huge, and you cannot teach that.
Right, right.
A lot of times they go, well, a lot of times people go, what, you can't teach funny. It's like, no, but the thing is, there are little techniques that we can help you with.
Teach them to
but-
be funnier and
Yes.
to hone and sharpen. No, I mean, I can't
And to
take
get
someone who's
kicked in the
never
balls.
been funny a day in their life, like, some accountant who's never said a joke. No.
Right.
But you can help someone, you have to
Find a
harness it
sense
and
of
tighten it
humor.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us can agree that doing 3 or 5 minutes is way harder than doing 45.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it is, because you have to just get, and that's one
It
of the
is,
notes I have.
yeah.
Even though you did a short set here, I would just always try to remember this: get to the funny. Yeah, I write my jokes down, every single word, the uhs and the ums, the ones that are important for timing. And if I have a sentence that's 15 words long, if I can still keep it funny or funnier by making it 14, I do it. It's only one word, but if you do that throughout a 45-minute headlining set, next thing you know, your 45-minute headlining set is really only 40, and it doesn't mean you don't have enough time. It just means you can take your time, do crowd work, and massage the jokes a little bit. You don't have to race through it.
Right, but like for an example, the Bill Burr thing was funny because it was present about being
Right.
on a podcast. But here's where the joke was. So Bill Burr is in a podcast. I have heard a podcast. Bing, you're done. It's over. There's the joke.
Right.
So stuff like that's what I think we're talking about. I have a great. I'm sure Lou's going to get to it, but
Yeah.
I love the floaties
Me too.
and anklies. But listen, here's my idea. So what if the anklies, they're basically ankle weights. Well, sometimes AKA we call them drownies.
My first thought was like, well, if they got the floaties down, why do you have to invent something separate? Just move them from, get another pair of floaties for the arms, and why do you have to invent a whole other thing? It's the same invention, just buy 2 sets of floaties.
I think
Right.
it's pretty clear that no one on the stage has children. I think.
But I do like, you showed, I like, how are you saying word amusements? I mean, because I'm big, all comedians are big on words and
Yeah.
finding the perfect word. I love the word selection, angry demon inside a sealed container.
Yeah.
I like words like that. It's, those are words you don't hear every day, and angry. You used all the the most superlative. You didn't say mad. You said angry.
Yes.
Demon. You know. You didn't say monster. Demon's funnier. Inside a sealed container. Container's got the cuff sound. You didn't say. You know, I just thought it was the perfect choice of words. I laughed out loud at that.
Yeah, me too. And do you really have a wife and a baby?
Yeah, not a baby.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
And I actually have a really weird situation.
Ooh, tell us.
Because of the military. She was my girlfriend. We've been together for like 6 years, and we knew we were going to get married, because once you've been in the military 6 years, we're like, we're going to make it. So we just got married, because there's incentive to get married, and NPR will tell you, or somebody will tell you that people respond to incentive. But anyway, we didn't tell our family. So now we're getting married in October, and nobody knows that. Unless they listen to this.
Oh, shit.
Which I won't tell them.
And you're getting married, you're telling your family so that they can give you incentives now,
Exactly,
right? Is that it? I don't know.
When you say incentive, you're talking like, first-time buyers get a cash incentive. Yeah, but what do we...
Well, in the military, I totally know. I was dating a guy who was in the Navy when my first marriage was to a guy in the military. I think it's because they give you such a mind fuck, and you have to latch on to a human being. No? Oh,
How long are you underwater? Like what's the longest amount of time are you?
100 days is the longest time.
I would
claustrophobic.
be grasping.
Oh, I'm claustrophobic. I'd be sectioned 8 within 5 minutes.
What was the name of your ship?
Jefferson City. The USS Jefferson City. Out of San Diego.
I mean, I was on a plane to Italy. I could get up and walk around like, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind. That was like a 9-hour flight, and I was bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
That whole trip had me testing my claustrophobia and fear of heights. Every 5 seconds, I'm in a narrow alley. I'm on a small boat. I'm on a high cliff. I'm on a plane. I'm in a bus. Submarine. My hat's off to you, man.
Did you go into the military right after high school? Like,
Oh, no.
No. It was a later. You worked.
28.
Oh.
So, yeah, I didn't join the Navy until I was like 22.
He looks 18, right?
I know, you
All
do
right.
look young.
I'm hoping to keep that
Right.
going.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But-
Did you ever see? Well, I mean, not combat. Well, did you see combat, or were you ever in?
I mean, I'm not really supposed to tell you, but yeah, I've shot
Yes.
shit down.
Oh.
Like, I've loaded torpedoes in the tubes, and I
See,
thought
I would
gonna die a few
open with
times.
that to meet girls at bars. Hi, I've shot shit down. I understand.
We
Trust me.
That's amazing.
You're drinking that beer right
Wait a
now
minute, that's
because of
amazing.
me.
Wait, that's amazing to me because
Well,
Because I
he's a
feel like-
nuclear engineer. So did you actually shoot, or did you actually expose?
I mean, I don't have enough time to tell you about like how the whole thing works, but we
Oh,
have
no.
different
I
systems.
don't think you do.
Pulls out a
You-
I
PowerPoint
have
You
presentation.
no
track
idea.
the, you
Listen, I
find
watch a lot of
Is it like those
Generation,
commercials
okay.
where they show you, like you're at a desk, all of a sudden they morph your photo into the in the battle station, and then you
It's
score,
exactly
and then they
like
high five each other. Job well done, and they go right back to working. These commercials crack me up. Like, you just blow up a city, you're like totally calm. Like, yeah, I'm good. I just killed a bunch of people.
So tell us then, if you don't have a lot of time, but tell us what do you mean by shooting people down? Like
Oh
you?
my god,
Yeah.
I really shouldn't have even told you guys what I told
Did you have something to do with that Malaysia flight?
Yeah.
No,
Let's just be clear.
no. Okay, see
You're not in the military anymore.
no.
Great. So
Because I definitely
you're
have
good.
to tell you
You're
that.
good.
Barb's like, well, then everything's open season. You got company
go.
secrets. Classified, smassified.
Snowblowers.
Alright, so you look for targets, you find a target, you find out if it's like an actual target or just a whale, and if it is an actual target...
Sounds like a fundraiser.
how many goddamn whales have we
Sounds like a
killed?
fundraiser.
How many goddamn innocent whales?
Why would that? We need to have a fundraiser. Save the whales from friendly fire.
You mean for some poor son of a
Get
humpback
Sarah McLaughlin
whale?
on the phone.
It's just women and
Shoot the whales, dude.
And
That's-
then away. We show these whales in slow motion, big giant eyeballs.
I'm sure we
Keep
hit
going.
a couple.
You're
I'm
doing
sure-
great.
I'm sure we've ran into a couple, but I don't think we've
I'm
ever
an animal
actually
lover,
shot.
but I kind of want to see a whale get hit by a missile. How awesome. I would watch that YouTube video a lot. I know it's a whale and it's a living thing and I love animals. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would too.
Boom! The splash. I mean, it would be epic.
There is a video on YouTube. Look up exploding whale. You'll see it.
Watch
I'm
the sun
serious.
died of the methane on its
How
own.
do you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
How do you know there's a video?
That one I know. I've seen that one that had methane build up in it and it exploded like it
Oh.
destroyed
Whale
the
guts
city.
went flying everywhere,
Taiwan,
yeah.
Thailand or Taiwan, one of those Thai places.
Tai Long, you're one of those.
Whatever, it's all Europe.
So You know what you're doing that you don't even realize that's awesome is you are a funny thinker. Like the way you phrase things and the throw things out, and very conversational on stage too. I just want to give you kudos to that because it's.
And I would recommend. Do you do what we're doing now?
Oh, this is a writing
because
group.
that's how you get bits. I've gotten 2 bits in my head now for myself. Not any of your stuff. I promise.
Me too.
But no, that's how you get ideas by hanging out with other comics, and you just slowly you can't just slowly make a write it down, you know, or otherwise comics just go dibs, and then they. My friend Tom always goes fine.
I got the drowning whale. What do you got? You got
Fine. Because you said it. I mean, write it first.
I'm gonna put ankles on a whale.
That's copyrighted.
It's copyrighted.
No, it's
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Totally
to go
kidding.
back to what Barb was saying, though, because I did like your inventions, but
yes.
you have to figure out. I mean, I know it's very early in your career, but find out what kind of comic you are in terms of your delivery style. I mean, I would just say find the guys that you like, and you say, you know, this joke is kind of like. You use Bill Burr as a reference. Bill Burr. How would Bill Burr do that joke? Get to the funny. You did like 4 disclaimers before you got to your inventions. I'm not saying you have to talk like a robot and go, I have an invention, here it is. You set it up, of course, but you did a whole lot of, you may not like this, I mean, this is just a thing I thought of, and I mean, it's copyrighted, but so don't take this, but I mean, I don't know, if it's, these are just ideas, just, what is it? Tell
Hey,
me.
you got a lot of time thinking down there in a submarine.
That's
this
true.
is when I came up
Oh,
with
yeah,
these
see,
things.
things to
Right.
do today, grab, protect nuts, and...
No, if he's the nuclear engineer, I
whales.
don't want him thinking of jokes.
Yeah, that's true. Hang on, I got a great bit.
Listen,
That's
if you're,
what my
if
bosses would tell you. No, I would get in serious trouble. I would like write jokes in the engine room. You're stationed at a place for 6 hours. It's like this, like the stage. You can't leave. And they eat
First
up to
question, where do
8
you
hours.
pee? How do you pee?
I shit my pants.
No,
This
how
has
do you
been on
pee?
the podcast, but he
No,
can't give
I
out
just
company
went up.
secrets.
But what
I
happened?
shit my pants, like no joke. If you have to go pee, you have to call because it's like ancient phone system, but you have to call forward.
Because that's
hey,
where all
man,
our tax dollars are going to
Oh,
ancient
Nuclear
phone systems.
submarine, and he
my
made the
God.
crank phone Walton's Mountain.
we started on our tax dollars, okay? You guys don't want to know
I'm
about
never
how we
taking care of the
spend money.
troops down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly, we need to buy some military diapers.
How about some porta potties? I mean, how hard is this?
Yeah.
We do it for babies.
You come up with ankles and the other stuff. You don't think about something for the
Yes,
nuclear technician guy to
exactly.
poop
What's the
into?
invention?
Depends. They can't spring from some of those.
There's got to be something.
Now, there's a commercial for Depends I'd watch because
We would've avoided-
it's always old people.
we would have avoided hitting the whale before the guy had to take a shit.
It's always old people that Depends commercials. And they see a young strapping guy in charge of a military submarine. It's like, hi, I'm John Smith. You know, I'm a nuclear technician on this submarine. Sometimes I shit my pants, but I don't leave my post. Thanks to Depends. You know.
That's a really good marketing campaign.
No, that's a bit. Take the bit. I can't do it
That's
because
what we're
I could
here
do it. That's another thing. You guys
We're
are great.
writing in your head
I
voice
could
right
do
now.
that bit, but it only works because it comes from his real life point of reference.
Right.
So, I mean, look, that's what makes you unique.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got
Unique? You guys are so sweet.
By the way, I also like kudos to him for he said yes to how long he's been doing this. He said
Yeah.
about 2 hours total stage time. That's an
Love-
honest answer.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to mention a name, but I worked with this one of my comedy students a while back. I went and saw him perform, and he had a horrible set. And he gets off stage, he's nursing his wounds with a shot glass, and he's got water in his eyes. He's going to cry, and he's like, "I'm sick of this crap. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I'm not getting anywhere." And I go, "Well, how often do you go up?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "Well, there's your first problem." And I go, "What do you mean? What do I mean?" And he goes, "I go up at least once a week." I go, "Well, I've never seen you do more than a 7-minute set." He goes, have you done more than 7? He goes, "Well, I've done a couple 10-minute sets." So let's just say you do average 7-minute set. Since you're going up once a week, that's 28 minutes a month times 7 years. And I said, and you know you're not going up every single week. You know that's not happening. I said, right now you got about a week's worth of experience. I know, and I was being honest with him. I said, how much time are you rehearsing at home? He goes, "Well, I don't rehearse at home." I go, "Well, there's your other problem." You know, I always say, instead of doing all these open mics, I mean, sure, go to open mics, but most of them are other comedians that either steal your jokes or they're not going to laugh because they're worried about when's this guy going to get done so I can go up. You can rehearse at home unlimited amount of time and just rehearse and choreograph and use a mirror or the video camera or whatever and get that stage time in that way. So it's a good, honest answer. I mean, yes, I've been doing this 16 and a half years, but I had some time off in between here and there. I mean, you get to that level, you can do that. But, you know, I applaud that. You don't see that a lot. People are like, "Oh, I've been doing it for 2 years. I've always been funny." So, really? How long have it? And I'm not saying when was the first time you got paid. I always said payment does not make you a professional.
And you know what I saw in that? It's interesting. I heard that too, but you know what I saw was a different point of view. The way you answered my question was the way your brain thinks.
Yeah.
Which is what's making
was
you
a nuclear
funny up
engineer.
there. Right.
2 hours, 12 minutes, 13 seconds. I've been doing stand-up comedy. If you go inside his head, it's like the Terminator. He's got that display readout inside
I
of his
loved
head.
it, but it was interesting to hear the answer. Like you didn't answer it like everyone else, which that's a keen point on your comedy nerve. I hope you'll feel that.
Yeah, and you have a good laugh, and I know you really shouldn't laugh at your own jokes, but
I like his laugh.
yeah, there's nothing wrong
Silly.
with that. Yeah, it's
Silly.
it's silly and it's friendly and inviting and stuff. If you're having a good time on stage, yeah, if you have a good time on stage, laugh because it makes everyone at ease.
Yes.
Right?
You made me feel at ease.
I did. I was so relaxed.
I wish
Josh,
I
are
had
your
some
legs okay
Japan.
after watching that?
Oh, they're butter.
Josh's legs are
Yeah.
rubber right now. I can't even stand up.
Well, Richard, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you will continue and we will see lots more of you. Yay!
Lots and lots more of you.
All right,
Thank you, Stage Man.
so we're wrapping up here. What an exciting day, Lou Santini, amazing, huh? Isn't he great? He's like, fire! Your style is like, bam, bam.
Pretty
Thank you,
fast.
ma'am.
I'm pretty fast.
Yes, my back.
Yeah, my back, Josh's legs. What a ragtag team up here. What's hurting you, Barb?
Oh well.
You kind of went for your right boob
I
there for a
did,
second.
I reached
Yeah, my right boob is really
God.
sore.
You know what's hurting me? My heart.
Oh,
My heart hurts.
that's a different type of podcast that I do
Haters.
not want to be on.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Girls
today.
with Feelings with Barb coming up next.
What's your Twitter, Lou Santini?
It's just Lou.
L-O-U.
That's it. L-O-U-U-U. 3 U's. At Lou Santini.
Oh, that's fun.
Because when I was on the radio, all my listeners called me. They go, Lou. I do shows at my hometown club. They all chanted so.
L-O-U-U-U?
L-O-U-U-U Santini.
Perfect.
Find me on Facebook. Go to lousantini.com. You can buy my book. You can buy my album off iTunes or Amazon called Let's Get Bloated, and watch for another book.
And don't forget Claremont this weekend.
2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
And Claremont is so fun. If you haven't been out there, it's not that far from LA.
No.
It's just off the 10 and in Indian Hill, in Claremont, between Pomona and Upland. So head on out there. And Josh, who is in Burbank this
Jimmy
weekend?
Brogan from The Tonight Show.
I like
You know,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Brogan.
Brogan
Oh, yeah, I've done
messes
that.
with the crowd. Lead writer, head writer on The Tonight Show. Pretty much wrote all Jay stuff, gotta say. But yeah, and very funny. And also Dana Eagle will be here with him. So anything else we want
Yes,
to talk
indeed. Next week, Dana Carvey will be here.
about? Oh, that's right, in Burbank. Dana Carvey.
That's right.
And his sons will be performing with him.
That's
So
correct.
The Carvettes.
He's passing down the comedy gene.
He clearly was not on a submarine then, I guess, huh?
All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and for another exciting episode of the FlappCast.
We off the air yet? No, but seriously.
Now we are.
You're supposed to get off.
Excellent. I forgot, I didn't get a chance to put this in because we were going in a different direction, but like on the globe too, I thought you could say snow globe. Oops, I meant that was a global snow globe warning. You know, we were doing, so anyway, it's a little hacky, but just